Hello, this is Todd Gerson from InsideSales.com. I have the pleasure to introduce you to Brandt Bubba Page. He goes by Bubba Page. He is the CEO and founder of Launch Leads. They help B2B companies fill sales pipeline by scheduling sales appointments for them. They do a great job. Brandt Bubba was named the Emerging Executive of the Year in 2009 by the Utah Technology Council, and he was voted the top 25 under 5 by the Utah Valley Entrepreneurial Forum. It's been a pleasure to work with Brandt over the years, and I'm excited to hear, Brandt, your 3 secrets to get the appointment in B2B sales tactics. Take it away, Brandt.
All right, you guys. Well, thanks for having me. This is exciting to be with the crew and be working with you guys at Inside Sales. Man, I feel lucky that I get to talk with all of these, at least present with all of these amazing presenters out there. So that is pretty cool. Well, guys, let's take a look at what we've got. We wanted to be able to go through some keys to success for those of you in the B2B world, and let's get some more sales appointments. That seems to be what it's all about. And so let's dive right in. There's a question and answer place, so you can definitely look at there. If you wanted to throw some questions or chat, hopefully I can answer some questions as we go along. But let's move forward. So had to start off with at least a quote to help all of us salespeople feel a little bit better about ourselves, to know that we have got all kinds of leads coming from sales, even more than in the marketing department. So just to kind of keep that good old sales focus here, we want to keep things rocking. A little bit of background on Launch. We had to just put in here, literally last week we just won the Best Website Award by the American Marketing Association here in Utah. So it's kind of a fun thing. So if you get a chance, obviously I'm going to plug, go to our website, launchleads.com, and check out why we won the Best Website Award. Kind of fun. So this is just a quick rundown, at least so you can know, and I can at least hopefully gain some credibility in why I'm talking about what I'm going to talk about. So my company, Launch Leads, we're here in Utah. We're all American, and basically give an idea of what we do. We are the team that gathers lists of targeted decision makers. We go through and prospect those decision makers. We use our own proprietary methodologies that I'm going to share some secret sauce with today. Obviously a ton of technology in the back end, Salesforce and InsideSales.com and a whole bunch of others that we've been able to customize and build out so that we can schedule highly qualified sales appointments. And we do this for our clients. Then obviously, just like you've probably learned with InsideSales.com, we can reply and respond to web leads within seconds. As soon as somebody hits a submit form on a client's website, we can be responding within just seconds. So if you know much about InsideSales.com's technology, but you don't necessarily want to have to hire or manage that all in-house, well, we're the outside solution. We are that outsourced InsideSales.com service provider to be able to help out. And there's my contact info. There will be another slide at the end that has my contact info if you need, and we can go from there. Let's keep moving. So again, let's get started. It's interesting to think about, and you guys all know this probably better than I, that the majority of a salesperson's time, unfortunately, is not bringing in the revenue. So we want to be able to eliminate as much of that time building and get it to be producing. And let's see if with the activities we talk about today can get there. Let's start with the basics though. We've got to look at building our foundation. It's amazing how many companies that I have either spoken with or helped or even at different events speaking where people don't know who their target is. You know, this is basic stuff, but it's just crazy how many companies really don't know the specifics of the decision maker they're trying to go after. So these are some simple questions to ask yourself. What are you looking for? Who is going to be buying your product or service? Is there a key influencer you need to work with? Is there a key decision maker you need to be working with to be able to understand what is going on? So take a look at those questions. Fill them out on your own. If you don't have those questions answered yet, you definitely need to. There's a lot more that you can dive deeper into finding your demographic and target, but at least that gets you something started. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure you build that targeted list of decision makers. That's how you're going to get things started. Then, once you've built that list, most of the time, if you've ever purchased lists before or whatnot, the data is not always 100% accurate. So obviously you need to be able to find out more data. And we use something internally here called off-phone research versus on-phone research. And the off-phone stuff you guys have probably all used. The Googles, the LinkedIns, SalesLoft is something that's a little more new. Give a little shout out to a friend. ZoomInfo, Inside View, some of those tools you can use off the phone. But on the phone is what we teach our team internally to use a ton of effort and skills. And you can gather information even just by using somebody's IVR. So their automated recording when you dial into that company. You can gather quite a bit of info. You can even just go to the operator and talk to a live body and ask questions. The key is here to ask. So if you're talking to an operator, you can even just ask who's in charge of this or who's in charge of that. Most likely they're not going to give you a ton of info, but you can gather some data there. Obviously the next stage would be going directly to the gatekeeper of the decision maker you're trying to speak with. And gatekeepers should be trained to not give you any information. But luckily, not all of them do this all the time. Sometimes they're able to give you an email address. They'll give you a direct phone number. They sometimes will even give you a cell phone number depending on how you approach that. If you can act like a friend and be nice, gatekeepers can be a great resource. Even if you're just finding some simple data such as when is the person coming back or when is the best time to reach out to that person. Asking the gatekeeper, a lot of times you can gather that data. Some tools, some concepts that people don't use a ton is actually when you're into the IVR system and you don't have a direct phone number, you don't have their extension, you can just click 1 for sales or 2 for service or 3 for engineering or whatever it is. Go to any other department in their company and then just ask whoever answers the phone. The best part is that if you get into some other department, most of the time they are not trained to be gatekeepers. And so they're very willing and able to help you. And one key phrase that we use is, I think I got transferred to the wrong extension, and then go ahead and ask your question. So if you go to another department and use, I think I got transferred to the wrong extension, I'm really looking for the VP of marketing. Can you transfer me there? What's his name or her name? What's their email address? What's their phone number just in case I get disconnected? And a lot of times you can gather it in there. And then of course referral, having somebody say, hey, I'm not the right person, but you should be talking to this so-and-so. Gathering that referral information is great. So that at least helps you to see some of those on-phone research processes that we use that are maybe different than maybe some other people are doing. So, okay, let's take a look here at the next slide. And I've got a couple questions in here, so I want to get to those in just 1 second because I might cover those with some of my slides coming up. Okay, so you've all been cold called, I'm sure. I'm sure everybody has reached out to you at some point, or you've all received these calls. And there is always something that happens. You get a cold call, and there's instant pressure. And that pressure is, well, geez, I got to let this guy down easy. Man, I hate cold calls. I don't want to have to be mean or whatever that is or that you have to deal with. Think about it when you're prospecting yourself. When you look at what your prospect is going through, they're obviously going to respond a lot of times with, oh, I'm really busy, I can't talk to you. One way to look at, if they're busy, you can preemptively diffuse that pressure by simply stating, hey, this is Brandt, I'm calling from Launch Leads. I know you're busy, and I don't want to take too much of your time, but, and then you can go into your what you're trying to accomplish in that call, which in my opinion should always be scheduling an appointment, not closing the type of sale on a one-call close. So if they're busy, just preemptively state when you're introducing yourself, hi, I'm Brandt Page, I'm calling from Launch Leads. I know you're busy. Don't want to take too much of your time, but my job is to schedule a quick appointment. That sometimes allows them to not even state that they're busy. When they ask you if this is a sales call, if you go back to what I just said about having this call is to schedule an appointment, not to do the selling. If they say, is this a sales call, you can say, actually, I am just calling to schedule an appointment. Now, they understand that that appointment is going to be a sales call. But this initial call technically is to tee up the appointment, not necessarily a sales call. And you can take it how you want on that and change the verbiage or whatnot. But, all day we use this and say, our job today is to schedule up an appointment. We're not trying to do any selling or anything today. And then, of course, you've got people who are hey, I've already got whatever solution or product or something similar to what you already have, and being able to ask what we call internally here at Launch Leads, we call them value-added questions. And what we usually say is if they say, oh yeah, I've already got this in place that takes care of that for me, so no thanks, then we ask them 1 or 2 or 3 questions to get them to start thinking. Well, one of those questions might be, is your current solution doing X? Or how are you currently liking your current solution? Or what if our solution could reduce your cost by 50%? Or if our solution could increase your revenue by 3 times than your current solution? Would that be worth a 15-minute call to find out? So kind of the keys to overcoming, already got that taken care of, is asking a question or 2 to see if that product or service is worthwhile, or bringing up if you can be either of more value or of less cost, and if you can, maybe give some stats behind that. So hopefully that gives you a little idea. And then, of course, everybody always says no. So usually if you can get back to what you're saying and how you're saying it. If you're acting friendly on the phone call, if you're pretty relaxed, if you're confident, when they say no, come back with those value-added questions, just like when they say they're already taken care of. This is kind of the similar response. If they say no, then you can come back, well, do you currently have something that does this, or you currently have something that does that? And if we could reduce your cost here, or if we could increase your revenue this way, would it be worth 10 to 15 minutes on a phone call Wednesday at 3 o'clock? So hopefully that gives you a little bit here. Let's see here. I want to see if I can answer a question that came up here from Deepak Sharma. He says on the first call, they don't want to invest the time, and they say that their 15 to 20 minutes is very precious. What should you do, basically? Really, for us, I think that making sure that they understand this initial call is just to schedule that appointment. We understand their time is very precious. We're understanding that they're very busy, and that this initial cold call is to really make sure to verify that you have the right person, to gather the right information, and to schedule the appointment. Then you should be on par. Okay, I know we've got a whole bunch of questions come in, and so sorry guys, we're gonna get to these questions here in a little bit. Let me just keep plugging along. This is just something super simple and easy, so take a quick look here. Okay, so honestly, you've all heard it, smile and dial. It's amazing what people can feel on the other end of the phone. Even though they can't see you, they can feel what's going on. They can feel your body language. They can feel if you're having a good day. They can feel it if you're slouching in your chair and you're completely sick and tired of what you've been doing all day long. So just try and do your best and smile when you dial. It's going to make a huge difference, and people will see or feel that on the phone. Like we talked about, I know you're busy. That's one thing that you can diffuse the hidden pressure. And then another key piece that we love to do, if you can, and not sound too cheesy, is you stroke the ego. A simple thing that we use with smaller companies, when we know that they're not Fortune 1000 or we know they're not a 100-year-old company, we ask, it doesn't matter who is on the phone, we ask if they helped to start the company. Think about it if you're in their shoes. If somebody is on the phone with you and you're trying to sell them something, you can ask them, hey, I see that if you have the title or not, hey, I see that you're director of marketing, but did you help get this company started? There can only be good things coming from their response. They're either going to laugh and chuckle, oh, no, I didn't start the company. I've only been here 2 years. And you gather information about, hey, they've only been here 2 years, or they've been here 10 years, or been whatever. Or they can say, absolutely, I actually did help to start this company. It was in my living room. And if you gather that data just by asking a simple question like, hey, did you help to start this company? They're able to feel good about themselves, but also you're gathering key information. And if you do know that the company is extremely old or it's a name brand and you absolutely know they didn't start the company, you can just simply ask, hey, so how long have you been with the company? and that can gather some of that info. It doesn't build up their ego as much as asking if they help to start it, but at least it gives you some data. And then what we always like to see, if we can, we ask them if they're near a computer. The majority of the people you're calling, they're going to be near a computer. That's what everyone, it seems like, every day, all day long, we're all sitting near a computer. And of course you have field reps that are out in the field, but the majority of the decision makers you're calling are sitting in a desk behind a computer, and you have access to get them to go to a website or a landing page that makes sense. Okay, going to grab a drink real fast as we're skipping over here to the next slide. Okay, let's see if this slide can pop on up here. Let me click the next button and make sure we're going. Let's talk about some email magic. The reason why I want to go through this, and in this order, we talked first about building your foundation. So just a recap, quick recap, guys. Building your foundation of getting the right targeted data, demographic information of your buyers, of your decision makers. Then we moved into doing the phone research, on-phone research, making sure that the data that you have is being verified and you've got the right info, the right people, the right contact data, the right email, the right extension. Then we talked about how to overcome that initial pressure. When you make the cold call and they say, I'm busy, I've got this taken care of, no, I'm not interested. How you overcome that by asking a couple of value-added questions or making sure to preemptively state, hey, I know you're busy. And then obviously walking through and maybe stroking some ego and asking if they're near a computer. So now, B2B, I'm going to go, looks like this came out of order. So let me see if I can go back. Give me a second here, guys. Right here, B2B magic. I'm going to make sure we get this going. Okay. Think mobile, first piece. You got to realize when you're sending your initial emails to people, you've got to realize all of us are carrying around our cell phones all the time. And the majority of us are reading through these emails. So you may not want to have a pure HTML email go out because it doesn't all the time show up on their phone. Use that text and keep it super simple and brief. We're going to go through not only the rules of this email magic, but then we're going to go through an exact template that you guys can use. And if you need the slides afterwards, I'm sure they're going to have this recorded, but you can also hit us up at launchleads.com and we'll go ahead and send that out to you when you fill out the web form. But think mobile, use that text. Then of course, the from field, I know there's a lot of people out there. If you may have gotten this email from us that was from events@launchleads.com for this specific event, that's obviously because it's going out to a wide number of people. But if you're specifically prospecting an individual decision maker, please use a real person's email. Use your email address. Don't have some corporate sales@launchleads.com email. Have it come from Brandt@launchleads or Brandt.page@launchleads.com. That'll always help you. Subject line, keep it brief. And sorry if I'm going too fast. Time's already flying. So subject line, keep it brief and make sure it's easy. You don't want to say anything spammy, nothing like free, or don't even use dollar signs. And I'm sure you've got the spam that has caps and lowercase. Don't do any of that kind of stuff. You want to keep it legit. And then we want to talk about the specific piece in the email. It just starts with 2 simple lines, your intro and a purpose. Once you've got your 2 lines of intro and purpose, you're going to dive into 3 bullet points. This is where you show your proof of value and your differentiation. Please make sure you use statistics and percentages, numbers that pop out, something that somebody's eyes, if they're skimming through an email, will pop so that you can get the result you want, them responding. Finish up the email with a one-liner with a call to action. I prefer to use a link. Attachments sometimes get caught up with junk or spam, so use a simple link. And then the email signature is powerful. I'll show you the example of my email signature here in just a second. But the email signature should obviously have your phone number, your website, and we use something called wisestamp.com. A little plug for those guys. Wisestamp.com is this little simple service that auto inputs a very, in my opinion, a sophisticated email signature. And you'll see what it looks like here in the next little bit. Okay, so here's the template. Sorry if I'm going too fast. We've only got 11 minutes. I'm going to run through. We have got this exact template replica. You guys can pull this and use it all day. Obviously, put your own company info in here. But the from field we talked about, the from field is coming from a real email address, brandt.page@launchleads.com. The subject line, simple, under 40 characters, scheduling an appointment. Remember, this initial call should be to schedule an appointment. If you're leaving a voicemail, you want to send them an email with a follow-up. You want to schedule an appointment. It's very simple. It's clear. It's concise. And they want to see what it's about. Then the two-liners. Now, of course, in this PowerPoint, it looks like 3. But trust me, in a real email, it only ends up being even 1 or 2 lines. But you just introduce yourself. And in our situation, we call on behalf of our clients. So it would be one of our LDRs, our lead development reps, who says, hi, my name's Tyler from Launch Leads. I know you're busy. My CEO, Brandt Page, has asked me to schedule some time on the phone between the two of you. It's very simple. It's an introduction and then the purpose. Introduction, purpose. Introduction is who you are, the company you're from, and the purpose. We think that purpose should be specifically to schedule that appointment on the phone. Here's the rest of the email. 3 points of this specific email template will say, hey, this is what we do. We cold call, targeted list of decision makers, schedule appointments with qualified companies. As you can see in the second point, we not only give proof with our average client return when they use us of 600%, but we also use that percent sign and the numbers. That, if you looked at this really quickly, that would probably be one of the first things that sticks out besides the link that's at the bottom. That number is going to stick out. And then obviously we follow up with some more proof of concept with clients that we've worked with of, hey, here we work with InsideSales.com, we work with Fusion.io, we work with these different companies that maybe give you some credibility, and you can swap those in and out depending on the vertical that you're focusing on to make sure that it's applicable. And then we end it with just this simple one-liner. Again, in a real email, it would be one line. And take a look at some client video testimonials who have seen success with us. That's the call to action, and we included the link. Now, we just hyperlink these keywords to go to our video testimonial page on our website at launchleads.com. So this is a very simple replica. Now, here comes the email signature. Oh, darn. Didn't show up properly. That's no fun. So guys, sorry about this, but it obviously didn't show up formatting-wise. Email signature, if I can at least explain what it should look like, is thanks. It has our logo, and then this data, that's my last name, so you're probably assuming that my first name is being blocked out. So Brandt Bubba Page, and I'll give you a quick info. I was a fat baby, and I've been called Bubba ever since. So there you go. You have it. That's why everybody calls me Bubba. But so you have Brandt Bubba Page hidden behind there. It usually is below that logo. And then you have those social media icons. And those social media icons are hyperlinked. It may seem like you're overdoing it, but honestly, this gives somebody an idea that, hey, you're a social person. You're credible because you're online. You have real profiles. You're not some person offshore that you have no idea if they're legit. And they can see your actual profiles. To me, that's valuable. I get to track the clicks that go through these links, and I can see who's actually moving forward with it. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, here's some magic, you guys. This is something that is our secret sauce that not many people are doing, but this will get you more appointments than just about anything else here. Very simple process. So this is suggesting that you are already on the phone with the decision maker. So you've made it through the gatekeeper, you've gathered information, now you're talking to the decision maker, and one of the biggest objections people say on the phone is, well, can you just send me an email so I can review? And most salespeople, they fret that statement. They absolutely hate getting, send them an email. Oh, man, that's not going to do anything. Well, here's our solution. Here's the secret to success. By turning your 30-second call with them wanting you off within 30 seconds and converting that call into a 3-minute call with an appointment at the end of it. So the very first thing, when they say, can you send me an email, instead of dodging the question or trying to go around it, you agree with them and say, absolutely. Let me go ahead and make sure I have the right email address for you. Is that brandt.page@launchleads.com correct? So you just verified their data. Then you already have the email template that we just created, that we just walked through, and you send that to them immediately. You take that email address you just verified and you send it to them right there on the phone. Obviously through Inside Sales software, you can do that instantly, just with a click of a button, send them the email template. And instead of saying after you send the email, oh, hey, great, I sent you the email, I'll follow up with you sometime in the future. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Never do that. What you need to do is right then and there on the phone say, I just sent you this email. It's coming from, and state your email. Would you mind checking to see if you got it, because sometimes it goes to junk or spam. We have seen literally 95% of our people we ask this question to, you will hear them scrolling around using their mouse, clicking in their inbox to find it, because they don't feel like they're a part of a sales call anymore. They feel like they're just helping somebody out. So you just say, hey, I sent you the email. Now, did you get it? Sometimes it goes to spam. And then once they say, oh yeah, here it is, it came from Brandt.page@launchleads.com, you simply say, oh perfect, would you mind opening that email and make sure that the link works? If you could just click on that link, I mean, can you see what's happening here? This is just normal conversation. You're not selling, you're not being a punk, you're just simply stating, hey, I know you're busy, but just one more step here. Would you mind just opening and clicking on that link to make sure that the link isn't broken? These are valid things that you can ask, valid statements. Now, again, we see an additional 90 to 95% of people who actually open the email and then actually click on the landing page or the link or the PDF or whatever you want them to click on. They're opening that up. You've just turned this 30-second call that they wanted you off the phone into this 3-minute conversation, and now they are actually looking at what you want to provide. They're seeing your value as that last step. It's so simple. It's so easy that nobody does it. And here's some major secret sauce from launchleads.com. If you send the email, ask if they got it, make sure it doesn't go to spam, get them to open it, click on the link, and they're looking at your value that you provide right there. You have huge progress. Obviously, there's some tips at the bottom of the page. We won't go into that just yet. You guys have probably already read it by now. So let's keep moving forward. Obviously, when you're scheduling an appointment, you've got to stay relaxed on the phone. Nobody wants to talk to somebody who's either high-strung or nervous. You got to take a deep breath, smile, and go away. Hey, we've got Wednesday and Thursday. Which one would work better for you? And obviously, they could go back and forth on this for a while. But then once you get the day specified, you got to nail down the exact time. We love, once the date and time is scheduled, to then ask some qualifying questions. Keep it under 4. We like to go with 3 qualifying questions, because on a cold call, it's about all the time they've got. You've already stretched a 30-second conversation into 3 minutes, and this will only take it just a couple more minutes. But this preps whoever the closer is with your key qualification questions you want answered. Confirm the number that you are calling. Make sure you get the direct extension so you don't have to call the company headquarters again. Send a calendar invitation. Everybody should already be doing this, but this is just a quick reminder. Send the invite so that the prospect and the closer get it, and then repeat it. Say thanks and have them go to the website so they can prepare for that call later. Okay, we're going to cruise through so we can get to the end. But these are the key focuses here. These 3 secrets we've covered to allow you to get more appointments. And here you go. Just a quick mistake. Just please ask. Ask, ask, ask. If you can ask for the appointment, ask for the email, ask for the extension, ask for the sale, you will always have more success than if you don't ask. Okay, guys, time is almost up. And here's our little intro again. You've got my contact information. Feel free. I'd love to respond to you guys personally. I know we did not get to the 30 some odd questions that we have in here. I really apologize, guys, that I didn't get to go to all those questions. I would love to answer those one-on-one. You can hit me on LinkedIn. That's probably the best way, or you can follow me on Twitter at Brandt Page, and that way we can help you. Okay, guys, I think we're just about it. If there's anything else, okay. Somebody commented, breathe. Man, I should have just taken that comment a long time ago. Thank you, Deborah. You guys, thanks again for taking the time. Here is just the end so you guys can see. Again, love to help answer any questions you have. Launchleads.com. We love scheduling appointments for you guys. Okay, you guys, I'll look forward to connecting with you on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and obviously try and customize what we talked about today to your industry, your vertical, and you will be able to rock and roll. And hopefully we'll see some more success in the sales world. B2B tech sales is a blast, so we love being a part of it. Okay, guys, thanks again. My time is up.